and I'm at Cambridge on the West Anglia Mainline. In this video you'll be seeing services by CrossCountry, Greater Anglia, Great Northern and Tamsinx. Here we have a Greater Anglia pairing of class 317s. It looks like they're going into the depot. I'm not really sure what service they're running though. 317 338. And 57003 and 37425 are over to the other side of the station. I will get the rear of that when I head up the platform. So, let's spot some trains. Okay, and this is now departing. And it didn't actually have the rear in the middle, so I might have to get it when it leaves from the end. And I believe this is from Cambridge sidings north to Bishop Stortford sidings. Team 513, and it is that service, I think. Although I will have to check to be completely sure. Now departing is the 1246 Great Northern service from Kingsland to London King's Cross, being worked by a lot of class 387s. With 387123 on the reel. And I'm going to say that those 317s were from Cambridge sidings north to Bishop Stortford sidings. As you can hear, it's very windy all of a sudden. Well, I presume you can hear it. Now arriving is the 1248 Greater Anglia service from Norwich to Stansted Airport. And it's 7:20:419. Wait, no, I mean 7:55:419. And actually that's the passing. And also I don't think those 317s were from Cambridge North sidings to Bishop Stortford sidings, because apparently that service isn't running, so I generally have no clue what they were doing. Now arriving is the 1249 Greater Anglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North, being worked by a class 720. Actually this time. 7:20, 5:36. Now arriving is the 12:52 Tamsinx service from London King's Cross to Cambridge, being worked by a class 700, which obviously I won't be able to tell you what it is. Well, actually, I might be able to once this 7:20 leaves, but not as it's arriving at the moment. And now departing is the 12:52 Greater Wranglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North. Now departing is 700 146 with the 12:54 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to Brighton. It's a nice tones there. Now arriving is the 12:55 CrossCountry service from Stansted Airport to Birmingham New Street, being worked by a class 170. (170,398). Now we can now see the full station. Now arriving is the 12:57 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, being worked by a lot of class 379s. (379,003). Now arriving is the 12:58 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Ely, being worked by a pair of class 387s. (387,119). Now departing is the 13:03 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Ely. We're 387,107 on the rear, and also now departing is the 1303 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool streets. With 379017 on the rear. Now arriving is the 1305 Greater Anglia service from London Liverpool streets to Cambridge North, being worked by a pairing of class 317s. 317881. And 317502. And then if we move over here, now arriving is the 1306 CrossCountry service from Birmingham New Street to Stansted Airport, being worked by a class 170. Now arriving is the 1309 Tamsinx service from Brighton to Cambridge, being worked by a class 700. 124. Now departing is the 1311 CrossCountry service from Birmingham New Street to Stansted Airport. (176.37). Now departing is the 1312 Greater Anglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North, and now arriving is the 1312 Great Northern service from Ely to London King's Cross, being worked by a lot of class 387s. (387.103). Now departing is the 1315 Great Northern service from Ely to London King's Cross. With 387.115 on the rear. Now arriving is the 1316 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, being worked by a class 720.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Now arriving is the 1317 Greater Anglia service from Stansted Airport to Norwich, being worked by a class 755. (755-406). Now departing is the 1320 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, 720-536. Now departing is the 1324 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to Brighton. Now departing is the 1327 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, and hopefully I'll be able to get the number. (700-026). Now arriving is the 1329 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Kingsland, being worked by a pairing of class 387s. (38117). Now departing is the 1335 Great Northern service from London King's Now arriving is the 1335 Great Northern service from Kingsland to London King's Cross, being worked by a pairing of Class 387s. Three 7108. Now arriving is the 1339 Tamsinx service from Brighton to Cambridge, being worked by Class 700. And also now arriving behind me is the 1339 Greater Anglia service from Ipswich to Cambridge. Hundred 114. Can see that arriving in down there, and it's being worked by a Class 720. Now departing is the 1844 Great Northern service from Kingsland to London King's Cross. With 387122 on the reel. Now arriving is the 1347 Greater Anglia service from Norwich to Stansted Airport, being worked by Class 755. Now arriving is the 1349 Greater Anglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North, being worked by a pairing of Class 379s. (379-016). Now departing is the 1350 Greater Anglia service from Norwich to Stansted Airport. 755415. And over there is a Greater Anglia pair of Class 379s. And they are from Bishop Stortford sidings CS. No, from, oh I don't know, something, we'll just say from Bishop Stortford sidings to Cambridge. On ECS, obviously. Now departing is the 1354 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to Brighton. Now arriving is the 1357 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, being worked by a pairing of Class 317s. $317,502. And here we have the 1357 CrossCountry service from Stansted Airport to Birmingham New Street. $170,397. And these Greater Anglia Class 379s are now departing. And this is the 1359 Greater Anglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North. And I was expecting these to depart in another 10 minutes, so it did catch me a bit off guard. $379,029 on the reel. And now departing alongside it is the 1401 CrossCountry service from Stansted Airport to Birmingham New Street. And those 379s are going to have to wait for that. Now arriving is the 1402 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Ely, being worked by a pairing of Class 387s. And the train to its right is actually a pairing of Great Northern Class 387s. So I'm certain that definitely didn't come from Bishop Stortford sidings. 387118. And also that service did actually come in 10 minutes late, so it did seem a bit odd anyway. So yeah, it definitely wasn't that service. There's been a lot of ECS today, but I haven't really been able to figure out where it's actually been going. Not sure if I'll be able to edit on anything. I will if I find anything about them, but don't know if I will. Now departing is the 1403 Great Wranglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street. .317 881 on the rail. And I didn't actually realise, but over to the right, that Great Northern service which arrived going to Ely is actually one of the former Gatwick Express 387s on the rail. And just as I was mentioning it, now departing is the 1404 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Ely. With former Gatwick Express 387-207 on the rear. Now arriving is the 1405 Great Wranglia service from London Liverpool Street to Cambridge North, being worked by a pair of Class 379s. .379-007. And 379022. And also arrived was the 1406 CrossCountry service from Birmingham New Street to Stansted Airport. Now departing is the 1411 CrossCountry service from Birmingham New Street to Stansted Airport. 17639. And here we have 700-103, which will be the 1411 Tamsinx service from Brighton to Cambridge. Now arriving is the 1412 Great Northern service from Ely to London King's Cross, being worked by a pairing of Class 387s. .387-107. Now departing is the 1415 Great Northern service from Ely to London King's Cross. With 387-119 on the rear. Now arriving is the 1417 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, being worked by a class 720. Now arriving is the 1417 Greater Anglia service from Stansted Airport to Norwich, being worked by a class 755. Now departing is the 1420 Greater Anglia service from Cambridge North to London Liverpool Street, 720-561. Very weird sounding tones. I guess we'll take it. It's very low tones. I guess it's more what I meant. Departing is the 1421 Greater Anglia service from Stansted Airport to Norwich. Now departing is the 1424 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to Brighton. Certainly taking its time. There we go. Next train to pass by is going to be a GBRF class 66 from Hoo Junction up yard to Whittlemore yard LDC GBRF. And those Great Northern 387s to the right are actually working a Tamsinx service, funnily enough. Oh, it's 56779. Never mind, 66779. It just For whatever reason, it looked like it said that because it kind of rubbed off. I'm not sure how it even could be a 56, but yeah, 66779. And now departing is the 1426 Tamsinx service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, being worked by a pair of Great Northern 387s. 387104 is on the rail. Not quite sure why they're doing that. Maybe they don't have a 700 or something. Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Kingsland, being worked by a pair of Class 387s. Leading the way is former Gatwick Express 387-208. Now departing is the 1435 Great Northern service from London King's Cross to Kingsland. With 387120 on the rail. And now arriving is the 1435 Great Northern service from Kingsland to London King's Cross, being worked by pairing Class 387s, and this will be the final train of the video. So if you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you wish and I'll try to respond to it, and join my Discord server if you want to talk to me and my fans. 37114 is leading. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.